Here are 3 things that I would have loved to have known when I was 20 years old. I'm Gedwa, I'm an empowerment coach, I'm a healer and a therapist, and I use all 3 of them together when I'm working with people. So here are the 3 things that I would have loved to have known at the age of 20. Number 1, I would have loved to have known that I wasn't stupid. I went to an academic school, and even though I loved going to school and I enjoyed the lectures and I enjoyed the system and I enjoyed the teachers, I could never get my grades to a level that was good enough. And I even remembered the teacher saying to me, "You have a good brain, you just have to try harder." As a result of that experience, I walked out of school thinking that I was stupid. And it ate up so much of my life as my adult life. I had to overcome so many hurdles. But when I realized it was just a belief that I could switch around to a more positive belief, so much more opened up when I realized that I actually was clever. The second thing I would have loved to have known at the age of 20 is that when you have a heartbreak or someone's breaking up with you, it's not equivalent to not being good enough. Even though this was my first relationship and it was young and it was naive and it was innocent, it was joyful, it was fun, we reached a point in our journey that we had to make a decision. And I wasn't ready to make that decision. As a result of that, he broke up with me. So I was very sad and I cried a lot. And when I was finished with that journey and I started reflecting on why we broke up, I realized that I wasn't good enough for him for not choosing what he wanted. And this is where the journey of people pleasing started to develop in my life. And when I realized that I had it back to front, that if I chose myself more, I would be more joyful, I would have more flow, I would be more lighter, life would be much more happier for me. When I realized that, I would have loved to have known that information at the age of 20 and not have wasted, or not wasted, but I would have liked to have, I could have changed it a lot earlier. And the third thing I would have loved to have known at the age of 20 is to praise myself a little bit more. I think that if I had adopted this skill at a very young age, because I was achieving things that required praise, if I had praised myself more, and I would have said, "Wow, that's good for you. You did your best here. I can see that you tried something new, and you did so good here." If I had done that more for myself, I would have had a journey where my self-discovery, self-confidence, self-love, self-esteem would have been so much stronger, and I wouldn't have had to start it so late in life to start doing. But what I did instead was I fobbed it off and I just looked for the next adventure. So this is something I would have liked to have known. So if I had to give my 20-year-old self some advice and guidance, it would definitely be about practice the skill or the art of self. How do I feel? What do I want? Where do I want to go? What are my decisions? Doing the me, myself, and I questions and actually doing that first, as opposed to thinking, "Oh, I'm afraid, I want to do what someone else is doing," and then not think about yourself. Because the earlier we learn the skill, the better our journey in life will be.